Now let's get to the wideouts because Utah, give me two.
Utah.
You know where
that's how many Point Break references are we going to have in this one?
It's the first one today.
John Brown is going to put up a massive stat line. Get him into your lineup against the Miami Dolphins. Say Brown is one of two players in the NFL with 50-plus receiving yards in every game. The other, Michael Thomas. That's good company.
Yeah,
the last time he played Miami, 19.3 fantasy points. So get him into your lineup. And Cortland Sutton. He ranks 14th in fantasy points per game among wide receivers right now. The Vikings defense has allowed 12 touchdowns and the second most fantasy points to receivers lined out wide. That's where he's been 82% of his routes this season. And Curtis Samuel is my sleeper.
Okay.
DJ Moore is a must start, but I like Samuel as well. He scored a touchdown and 13-plus fantasy points in 3 of his last 4 games, and Atlanta has given up the 6th most fantasy points to wide receivers overall. So Curtis Samuel is a very nice play.
Yeah, this weekend Curtis looking to be that new cut. So give me your receivers that you're going to sit this week.
Last week, I loved Christian Kirk. I talked about him on Start Him and Sit Him. This week, not so much. I mean, I get it. He had 3 touchdowns last week, so you probably want to play him. But the Niners defense has allowed the fewest fantasy points to the slot, okay? And Kirk ranks 9th among wide receivers in routes run out of the slot. And the last time he played them a couple of weeks ago, 16 total yards, guys. That is not good. And also, Marvin Jones. Assuming that Matthew Stafford can't play, Jones is a fade for me against the Cowboys. And Cynthia said it earlier. This defense, very tough, especially against wide receivers. They've allowed this just 3 touchdowns and the 8th fewest fantasy points to receivers lined out wide. So Marvin Jones is going to be on my bench, if at all possible.